Have you ever wanted to go for a run, but it was just way too hot out and you didn't actually end up running? Or maybe you did go for the run, but just had a terrible experience outside with the heat. If so, in this video, I give 5 tips to help you the next time you go out for a run in that brutal heat and humidity. What up everyone, Jeremy Tri here. Hope you all are doing well. So I live in South Florida and it's pretty much great weather for the entire year. While this is great for year-round training, it does get very hot in the summer months, and I'm talking about 90 degrees Fahrenheit at 90% humidity at the very least. So I do have a lot of experience training in hot and humid conditions, and I figured I'd make this video and share my 5 tips that help me and hopefully can help you train through hot and humid conditions as well. So let's jump right into it. All right, so tip number 1 is to plan your runs around the sun. Now this might seem obvious, but it really does help to start your runs around sunrise or sunset. That way the sun isn't just beating down on you like it is around the middle of the day. If you prefer running in the morning, I'd recommend starting your run before the sun even rises. I'm talking about waking up, getting ready, doing your warm-up, and actually starting your run before the sun even rises. If you do this, depending on how long you're going for, you can actually finish your entire run before the weather really starts to get hot. Now, one of the big keys to getting up early is, of course, sleeping early. So make sure you go to bed at a reasonable time so that you get enough rest, and try not to hit the snooze button too many times in the morning. One other benefit of running at sunrise or sunset is that you'll be out there for golden hour. So it'll be great lighting for landscape photography or urban photography or even for selfies. Tip number 2 is pay attention to hydration. Now, nailing your hydration is a major key to running well in the heat. I actually did a podcast episode with Andy Blow, who's the CEO of Precision Hydration. We talked about sweat, we talked about hydration for runners and triathletes. So if you have time, check out the podcast. I'll link it up in the description below. So if I were to sum up all the hydration tips, I would say that if you're planning on going for a run on a really hot day, just about 1 hour before the run, make sure you have some water in you. Water will do just fine, but if you want to be even more effective in combating the heat outside, you can have some kind of electrolyte mix that into your water, and that should do really well. At this time, you should also prepare your hydration that you're going to bring with you on the run. All right, so now you're out there, now you're running in the heat. I like to bring with me water most of the time. It gets the job done. But when it's really hot outside, I'll mix some electrolyte supplements into my water, and that will do just fine for me on the run. Now, I'm not sponsored by Precision Hydration. They just came on the podcast. I had a really great chat with the CEO. They sent over some supplements for me in the mail. I tried them out, I used them all, and I really felt that they made a difference in my summer training, so I bought some more with my own money. And I'm pretty sure you can find other brands on Amazon as well. But yeah, I've just only used Precision Hydration, so that's why I recommend them. I like to hold a handheld water bottle on those long and hot runs, but if for any reason you don't like to hold a bottle in your hand or to your waist or on your back or wherever you can attach a water bottle to you these days, plan your routes. Plan your routes through a park with a water fountain or to the beach where there's a water fountain as well. Another idea is to just do like an out and back route from your house, like have water on your patio, your backyard, do your mile, 2 mile, 3 mile, come back, drink, and then go out again. So just get a little creative with it. Now, how much you should drink while you're running, it really depends. It depends on how much you sweat. It depends on how much salt you lose when you sweat. Everyone's levels are different, so you really have to see what works for you. For me, I like to take a squirt of water every single mile, and then every couple of miles I'll take a more plentiful swig of water to keep myself hydrated. That works for me, and again, what works for me might not work for you, so make sure to keep experimenting and see which hydration strategy works best for you. Also, on the long hot runs, I like to bring energy gels, and I try to stay away from like the double espresso, chocolate, heavy flavors, and bring more citrusy flavors like orange, lemon lime, strawberry. And also keep in mind, different gels have different like substance to them. So goos, for example, are more thick, and Science and Sport gels are thinner. So for a hot day, you might want to go for the gels that are thinner in substance because they can be easier to take when it's like blazing hot out. Salt tabs or salt pills are also good ways to keep your sodium levels in check. I usually only use these during really hot conditions outside. All right, so after the run, make sure you get into some shade, maybe get into some AC if you can, and cool off. Hydrate again, of course. I mean, we've been doing this all of our lives after doing physical activity, so just do the same thing, hydrate, cool down, and take it easy. I usually use this time to upload my run to Strava, to post something to Instagram, stuff like that. Now, before I wrap up the hydration tip, I just want to say be careful not to drink too much water. Doing that can cause an imbalance and dilute the sodium levels in your blood, which you definitely don't want that. It's pretty dangerous. So don't drink too much water. Don't go overboard with the hydration. And again, just experiment, but experiment carefully to find what hydration strategy works best for you. Tip number 3 is look for shade. You can try running on trails, maybe through a park. Find a place with a lot of trees overhead that can shield you from the sun. Now, if you don't have easy access to a beautiful forest or a place with a lot of trees, you might have to get a little creative. So one thing I like to do when running near the beach is that one side of the road has all these palm trees while the other doesn't. So it might be as simple as crossing from one end of the street to the other so that you can be under trees. Another option is if you're running through a city or an area with a lot of buildings, try to run through streets where the buildings will shield you from the sun. Little things like this can make a big difference on your run. Tip number 4 is dress for the sun. I recommend wearing light clothing, preferably moisture-wicking clothing, moisture-wicking shirt, shorts, underwear. It really helps to keep the sweat off your skin. I even like to wear a moisture-wicking long-sleeve shirt just to give my arms extra protection from the sun. Wear a hat, wear a visor, wear something to cover your face. It also can double as like a headband to keep sweat from rolling down your face. I also pay attention to where the sun is hitting my face. So if it's coming at me from the front, my hat's at my front. If it's coming at me from the side, then I turn the hat to the side like that. And of course, wear sunscreen, wear sunglasses. The sun can be pretty harsh out there, so it's best we protect our eyes and our skin. Tip number 5 is to take it easy. Keep in mind that when it's extra hot out, your body has to work harder than normal to keep you cool, so you might want to dial back your pace, go a little slower than you usually do. You may find yourself getting more tired at your usual pace, so if this is the case, before you jump to conclusions that you're out of shape or you ate too much junk food for the week, just remember that it could just be the heat getting to you. Alright, so those were my 5 tips to help you run in the heat. I really hope they help you out next time you go for a run and the weather is just really hot and humid. Comment down below any experiences that you've had in running in hot weather. Also comment any tips that I might have missed, or if you have any tips on running in heat that you want to share with everyone else out there. If you like this video or got any kind of value out of it, throw a thumbs up down there with the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Check out the podcast, The Triathlete Beat, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.